Hi, and welcome to another video by Get It Done Home Repairs. Today's video, we're going to talk about how to change the code on an outside keypad for a garage door opener. Now, this particular one is an older one. I'll show you what it looks like in just a minute. This is the unit here itself. Okay, and the garage door opener itself, it is an older opener. I don't know if you can see that up there, but it's actually made by a company called Stanley. So it is an older garage door opener, and it's an older keypad outside. And the reason I'm going to make this video is because if you don't have this paper and you need to program your garage door opener, you're definitely going to have a problem. Because before I did this video myself, or before I found this paper, I looked online and there was a lot of ways of people showing you how to program it, but none of them worked for me until I found this paper here, and then I was able to do it. All right, so let's, you know what, instead of doing it outside, I'm going to take the remote off the wall. We'll bring it into the workbench and we'll work on it together on the workbench. But the first thing you want to do, before you do anything, you want to go up and you want to take a look up on the top up here at the, it's called dip switches. This particular one has got 10 little switches on there. And with those 10 little switches, you'll need, that changes the frequency of the garage door opener. All right, so first thing we want to do is let's go up there, let's take a look at the dip switches and how they're located and how we're going to do our coding so we can program the remote outside. All right, so let's go up and take a look here first. When you look up here, you'll see that these little dip switches here, see these switches? You'll have on position and off position. So you want to note these positions, you want to write them down, and if you're going to change the frequency at this point, you'd want to change these switches to whatever frequency you wanted to. But this is the one that I chose right now. Let's go down and let's continue on that the outside keypad, and we'll get this programmed. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look to see what garage door opener we have. Now ours in particular, it's called a Stanley, and that's the one that we have. Ours is a Stanley, but as you can see, Chamberlain, Sears, LiftMaster, they all have different codes on here. See? Now Stanley is in section 8. So we're going to turn it over, and we're going to go over here to section 8. All right, Stanley 8. This is the number that we are going to do. Now, if you look up underneath here, I hope you can see this, these are all the switches here. Code switch sequence from number 1 through 10. We have 10 dip switches here. Now, obviously, this Genie had 12 dip switches, so we know that that's not the one. And this particular one had 8 dip switches. So we know ours is 10. That's what we're going to wind up programming. Now, instead of writing it on here, I wrote it down on a piece of paper that I have right here. And as you can see, number 1 through 10 is either up or down. So I just wrote it down on a piece of scrap paper here for you so you can have an idea of what we're doing. Each one of these numbers here represents a dip switch up on top. And what these numbers are down below here is the number sequence that you're going to need to enter into the code, into this keypad when you're ready to program it. All right, so what we're going to do now is if you look and it says that if the switch is in the on position or the up position, you place a 1 next to it. So we look at the switch up on the top of the unit itself, which we actually took a picture of so we can see what it looks like now. So we have a picture of all of our dip switches right here, and we know they're either on or off. So we're going to put this down so we can watch and take a look at it, and we're going to go through each one of them, and we wrote down the sequence. The 1, it represents the on, and the 2 represents the off. So we're going to write down which one is on, which one is off, and we're going to put that number in over here. And this is the number now that we're going to enter into the keypad when we're prompted to do so, okay? So we're going to put this down over here for now. Okay, so this is how we're going to do it. We have our keypad right here ready to go, and this is going to go fairly quickly. So I just want to walk you through it first, and then we're going to go ahead and do it. We're going to enter code 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the star key. We're going to enter your PIN number, which you just thought of yourself, and then the star key again. Then we're going to come down to step 3, and we're going to enter the PIN code again, and this time we're going to press the pound key. Now it's a Stanley unit, so we're going to enter 8 and the pound key again, and then we're going to enter the programming code, which is this code here that we wrote down for the dip switches. So we're going to go 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. And that will be our programming code for the dip switches. And then after you enter this code, then you hit the pound key. All right, so let's get in here and let's do this. I hope you can see okay. Let's get this set. We're going to go pretty quickly, so here we go. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to enter 1, 2, 3, 4, star key. Next, we're going to enter our pin code, which is just 1, 2, 3, 4, star. We're going to enter our pin code again, 1, 2, 3, 4, star. Then we're going to enter the Stanley code, so we're going to enter the 8 and the pound, and now we're going to enter the sequence table, and we're going to do 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, and that's it. All right, and once we do that, the unit will then be programmed. All right, so let's try it and make sure it works. And that's it. You can hear it opening up. All right, it works perfectly. Now this is if you're working on the Stanley unit, okay? If you're working on a different unit, such as the Genie up top, then of course you would be entering a different programming code because the Genie is code 12. All right, the Stanley is code 8, and then each one is a little bit different depending on what your particular unit is. But this is our sequence right here. All right, so I hope I was able to help you out. As I said online, I've seen a lot of them online, and they were telling you to enter code 16, but code 16 is not the correct code for it. You need to enter code 8 for the Stanley for this particular clicker to open up the outside. Now, as I said, this is an older unit. This is made by a company called Clicker, and each one is going to vary. Now, if you go and you put your sequence in and your sequence does not work, then just reverse the numbers because you may have had them in the incorrect order. In other words, what I'm saying is, let me get in here and I'll show. If you're looking at these numbers here and you have, this is the dip switches right here, and these are the sequence right here. If one was a up in the on position and it was 1, then just reverse it. Turn the 1 to a 2 and then reverse everything here and try it like that. But sometimes this that you think is on is actually off. All right, so the 1 will become a 2 will become a 1, a 2 will become a 1, the 1 becomes a 2, the 2 becomes a 1, and so on down the line. Just reverse the codes and you should be able to get it to work. If it doesn't take the first time around, don't worry about it. It happens sometimes. On this particular unit here, I wound up doing it 3 times before it actually took the code and it worked properly. Now, obviously, the code that I put in, the 1, 2, 3, 4, is not the code that I'm using. It just happens to be the one that I put in here for the video so you can see how to go about doing it. All right, but I hope I was able to help somebody out and save you a little bit of a headache. All right, if you like this video and you want to see future videos, please subscribe down below. When you hit the subscription button, you're going to notice a bell pops up. When that bell comes up, you can highlight on the bell how often you would like to be notified of my future uploads. You can be notified of every upload or an occasional upload. That's personal preference, entirely up to you. All right, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see everybody on the next one.